Hello everybody, we are back for race 4 of the 2025 OVKA season. This is the final of the LO206 Legends class. If you saw my pre-final video, which I hope you did, because if not, spoiler alert, I finished 5th in the pre-final video. Started on the pole, got dropped down to 2nd, had some bad luck on the last lap, knocked me all the way back to 5th. So I have my work cut out for me to try to get up to the front. Right now in points, I think at the at the 4th race of the season, I am in 2nd place in the points for the season championship. The 86 is in 1st, and I need to not let the gap get far away. You know, I don't need to be trying to make up 100 points halfway through the season. The 86 is starting directly in front of me, so he's not far away. So I've got him, within sights. If the race were to finish right there, I think, with him in 3rd and me in 5th, I think it's only about maybe a 19-point swing, so not a big hit in the points if it ends this way. But we're coming down. And I think we're going to go on this one, and it's actually a very clean start and a very even start. We're all bumper to bump. There wasn't a whole lot of banging around. We're all going into the first corner. We've got a good little head of steam going. I come around, like I said, I don't really like the inside. I didn't get that good of a run off of it, and I get past on the outside. Actually, I don't get past. I keep my spot, but there was a chance I could have slid in front of one of the other carts, and they were just able to pull on me. I think the 20 fell in behind me. And there we go. The 34 made it pretty easy for me right there to make up one spot. I talked to him afterwards. He didn't know what happened. But, again, it was a little... I have to say, it got pretty chilly in the evening. It was very nice in the day. Probably dropped 15 to 20 degrees once the evening came. And dew was definitely settling on stuff. I started putting everything away after the race. I had puddles in my tarp, and it didn't rain. It was just dew collecting. So... it was, the conditions had changed, and I think that might have led to possibly, relying on the grip to be similar as it was earlier in the day, and so the 34 just went around. But I've got the 25 right on me. He's hanging pretty tough. The 20's right behind him. Up in front of me is the 84. He was able to get a pretty decent gap on me. So when the 34 went around, I slowed down a little bit. As you can see, I didn't hit him. I was able to drive. It was like he spun around in the perfect spot for me to just drive around him. So I might have lost a little time, but it didn't upset me that much. So I'm trying to run him down. I think actually that little bump right there, I might have caught up to the 84. So he's right in front of me. But I keep the camera face back just to give these guys a little air time. The 84 got a bunch of time on one of the other videos. So we're coming down. One of the things on this configuration, it sometimes pays to drive the inside. I'm able to do a shoulder check and not drive off the track after pretty much every lap right at that spot. So I'll do my check on the right side, see if someone's trying to come around me on the outside. And then when I look to the left, I don't even turn my head that far. I just make sure I don't see anything poking in on my peripheral vision. So I'm shaking my head a lot. I know when I was going through that zigzag section, maybe it doesn't look like it, but I was not going through it as smoothly as I would have liked, and I was getting a little bit frustrated with myself. I didn't go through that very good either, but fortunately, I was going good enough that I didn't get past. And one thing I've noticed with my Insta 360 X4 is it smooths things out so much you can't even tell if I screw up sometimes. Just makes it look like everything's going great. So right there, the rumble strips kind of helped out that, you get a good visualization right there of what happens when you go just a little bit wide and get in the rumble strips. I got a little gap right there. Now, of course, the 25 closed me up, but I believe I am right on the 84 right now. And I will flip the camera around pretty soon. It might be right down here. Maybe the next lap. Because I do some forward-facing laps, but the rear facing, I kind of like to watch it. You can see when people catch up to you, and it gives you some good feedback for future races. You can kind of see where you might have room for improvement. So both these guys, like I said, they're both still hanging pretty good. I'll be honest, I really didn't realize they were that close to me. But again, so now I flip around, you can see the 84. He's in third, the 22 and the 86 they've kind of separated themselves. They're up in the front. So I flipped it around. I come around here pretty hot, and I get a good run. Once I started, I'm like, am I going to make it? And I did get next to him, so I was able to just go right under. Again, he saw I was coming, so he gave me plenty of room. Didn't try to chop me down or anything like that. But I stayed on the inside down through here. I know that my kart can handle this corner at speed, and no one's really closing on me if I just hug the curb right there, because they would have if they could have right there. So once I got under the 84, I just kept it pegged down there. And I believe I'm going to do that for about 2 or 3 laps until I can start building up a little cushion, and then I might swing it out or drive a little more towards the middle of the track. I'll be honest, on this race, and then you'll see in some of my future races, I realize that you really can't drive the inside, and it's not it doesn't appear to be a detriment. Maybe I can go a little bit faster, but I was going fast enough, apparently, on the inside. Both of my karts are able to handle it. In the past, I might have thought it felt a little squirrely, but I don't know. Maybe it's with the R70s, the Hoosier tires. It's just suits my driving style better. I don't know, but issues with grip, none of that stuff. The karts might be a little bit loose every now and then, but most of the time that can be solved generally with a little bit of air pressure. And it seems like they almost always come in no matter what, about 2 or 3 laps. So I'm starting to build a little bit of a gap on these guys. I'm going to slowly pan this towards the front. It's taking a little longer than I thought on this panning. One thing, again, if you are going to get one of these cameras, although they take fantastic video, the editing software just can't seem to track if it seems like it's a little bit dark in the video. I had to do all this tracking manually. As you can see, I'm not completely hugging the grass, but I'm pretty close on the inside coming down on these laps right here. And when I spin it back around here in a couple of laps, I just did this so you can see how far in front of me the first and second karts are. They battle each other the whole race. You won't be able to see it, but the spoiler alert will be that the 22 will win this race. He was the guy driving in front of me when I had my last lap incident in the pre-final. He will go on to win. The 86 will finish second. And as you can see, I've now built up a fairly decent lead right now over this group right here. And I am going to pull off a 3rd place finish. So I somewhat salvaged the day, after getting bumped back to 5th. It would have been nice to, contend with the guys up at the front. I can't remember, but I believe I might have changed my gears after I got that 5th place. I don't remember for sure, but I might have. And I think I lost a little bit of top end speed. I don't really know, because I was driving a lot more on the inside than I was for the pre-final and during qualifying. So there still is one more race after this before we get to our OVKA champ race, but I'll just put that word out there. I don't remember the dates for it. If you check the OVKA website out at OVKA.com, the champ race is coming out, and it's coming up soon, and it's a 2-day event. It's a lot of fun. You do your practicing and qualifying on Saturday, and then the races are on Sunday. But Saturday, after the practice and qualifying, there's basically a picnic. There's games for the kids, even some for the adults, and you just hang out, and have a good time with your other OVKA members. So we're coming around, and that's the checkers, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't show too much forward because those guys were off the front. The 86 is going to run himself a little extra lap. Thought that was kind of funny. So stay tuned for the next video. 86 finished one in position in front of me, so I was able to minimize the gap and the points lost to him. So I'm still doing relatively good in the points. I'm still in second place. 86 is still in first. And we will see you at race 5's video.